Now I can change your name from Tracy Second to
Okay. Mhm. I'm just not hearing anything.
can't hear it.
No, I can't hear anything right now. Okay, maybe now.
Says we're on mute, Dan.
What up?
Why is Mr. Price?
Okay. So you can hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect.
Welcome, everybody, to the Planning Advisory Committee meeting for November 5th, 2025. Anybody has a question, please raise your hand, state your name and address so it can be added to the minutes of our meeting. Do we have anybody else online? No?
We do not.
Okay. All right, so I'll call declarations of any pecuniary interest. No. To adopt the agenda.
It is moved by Dan Gagné and seconded by Kathleen Rochon. Be it resolved that the agenda for the Planning Advisory Committee meeting being held on November 5th, 2025 be adopted as presented.
No questions about the agenda? Okay, Harry? Or, okay.
Can we vote?
Yeah.
The adoption of minutes, please.
It is moved by Roxanne Louis and seconded by Dan Gagné. Be it resolved that the minutes of the meeting held on October 14th, 2025 be adopted as presented.
Even though they were a little delayed, everybody had a chance to read on it. Any questions on? No. I'll call it to order. Everybody in favor? Carried. Okay, so we'll start with our zoning bylaw amendment application 5.1. ZBLA 2025/14, Don and Julie Armitage.
Thank you. It is moved by Dan Gagne and seconded by Kathleen Marchand, whereas a public meeting was held on November 5th, 2025 for the purpose of amending zoning bylaw 2014-45, whereas no written concerns or objections have been received to the proposed amendment, be it resolved that the Planning Advisory Committee for the Municipality of West Nipissing recommends that the Council for the West Nipissing Municipality adopts the proposed zoning bylaw to zone the property at 382 Sabaret Road and more particularly shown on the attached sketch, and that Schedule SF2 of bylaw number 2014-45 shall be amended by changing the zoning designation of the property shown on Schedule A attached here 2, which property is more particularly described as part of Lot 3, Concession 1 and 2, Springer Township, Municipality of West Nipissing, from Residential 1 to Residential 1, Exception Zone 5, to allow for a detached dwelling unit. Through you, Mr. Chair, I'm just going to pull up the screen here. This is the subject property. And you can see the floor plan of what they're looking to propose here. The proposal is fairly simple. It's just to do a detached additional dwelling unit. That's an application we've seen quite a number of times in the past year. It aligns with provincial policy pushing for that housing, and it will comply with all the other regulations of the zoning bylaw. So it's really just to allow for a detached ADU.
Any questions from our committee members?
Yeah, sure. I have a couple of questions.
Mhm.
First of all, the property is currently zoned as R1. Even though it's unserviced, I know there is provisions for that in the zoning bylaws. Is there logic as to why that was zoned that way?
Through you, Mr. Chair.
Because it's a shoreline residential property, right? And it's also rural because it's unserviced.
Yes, I would assume that it was done because it is in close proximity to that settlement area boundary. But if that is something we'd like to look at moving forward, no, just a,
No, I was just a kind of a random question.
it's an interesting spot right around there. They kind of flip from the R1 to the SR on that street.
Oh, do they go back and forth along that?
They do not know. It's
So
kind
all
of,
of them are zoned R1 along that area?
I believe that most of them are, sorry, I should have a schedule right here, actually. So there's a pocket of 4, including this property, that are R1,
Mhm.
and then there's a bit of shoreline residential on either side.
Okay.
So we can,
It's
Kinda
just-
look
it's
at
just very
tidying it up.
random, like it's in
It
it's
is.
not consistent, not for the sake of this application, just overall.
yeah.
What is the minimum lot size for an unserviced R1?
For an unserviced residential 1 property, the minimum lot area is 4,000 square meters. So an acre, and it is just under that. Or it is an existing lot front.
Okay, but it is like close to an acre.
Yes, I think it's
Okay.
about 36.
It's not the 1
100.
hectare that we see at shoreline residential.
It's not, but it is close to the minimum requirements.
Yeah, okay. And one other question. With the addition of this building, will these structures fall within the 10% maximum lot coverage?
They should, yes. Is the intent to keep the CCAN on the property once this is built, or is that going to be removed at that point? Sorry, if I may ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was to stay. It's just that the ADU that we're planning on putting there is until my parents are alive. And when they pass, it will be sold and split among the kids.
Thank you. So, Mr. Chair, with the addition and by retaining that storage container, because we consider that to be an accessory structure and count towards the lot coverage, it would exceed, it go to about 11.5%. So that can be written into the resolution that it would, the committee would recommend that increase. We can put it into the site specifics to accommodate that.
And sorry, CCANs do count for lot coverage area? I know they count as an accessory structure, but I wasn't aware that they also.
Yes, so the shipping container provisions of the zoning bylaw say that when you have that shipping container, it does count towards the accessory structure provisions, including it very specifically says the lot coverage as well.
Okay, and the accessory structure provisions, and would they have to be included on this file too then?
We would
Is
have,
it 3 on R1s as well, or?
It is 3 on the residential one, so we'd be looking at going to a 4th because I do believe there's also a shed on the property that they're keeping, correct?
Small shed right now.
So then that would be 5. Because if the C-can counts, the shed does count as an accessory
So they would
structure,
have
a detached garage.
Yeah.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was counting the main residence.
That's okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Dan, you had a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, the, just confusion between, is it shoreline residential, but it's not serviced? There's no water or sewer there at that road? Is that correct?
Yeah, there's no water source.
We have a
Yeah.
well.
But it's,
Well,
it's currently zoned as R1, Dan.
Yep.
By some anomaly, it's not zoned as an SR.
So my point, my question was, is there's enough coverage, there's enough area on that lot to actually have septic and
Yes.
water?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, and maintain your minimum distance to your lot lines?
Yes.
Okay,
So basically, that was my questions also. Anybody else has a question on this matter? No? Hearing none, I'll bring it to a vote. Anybody in favor? Oh, okay, Don?
Just to make it clear, as Julie was saying, that the little unit will be temporary till their parents pass away. So it's not gonna be fixed to a foundation or anything. It'll be just on the hillock piles. And then once, God forbid, but their parents will go eventually, they're older, then this will be sold and that will be divided amongst their children. So it's not a full-time thing that we want to keep as a further rental unit or anything. I don't want that. It could be written up in a contract with the municipality. It's a temporary unit to help her parents out.
My parents can no longer take care of themselves, so we're just trying to help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Chair, well, the resolution's been read, so I just would want to make a motion to amend the resolution to include the provisions for both the increased number of accessory structures and the increased lot coverage, which should be, if you can do the math at some point and add the actual number, you said it's about 11.5, but whatever it's going to be. And does including that in this resolution negate the requirement for the applicants to apply for minor variance on those items?
So 3, Mr. Chair, because we are including them in the resolution, they will be included in that bylaw that comes to council.
Okay.
They will not
They
require
don't
minor
need to.
variance. This will
Okay.
cover all of it, yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Any other questions?
Sorry.
okay, so what you need to do now is you
Now
need to
you
vote on the motion to it. So I need a seconder on the motion, or you need a seconder on the motion to amend. And a vote on the motion to amend, and
Yes.
then a vote on the original resolution.
Okay, so Rock's gonna second
Thank you.
and roll.
No, now we have on the
My
amendment.
gosh, you're confusing. Everybody in favor for the application?
Amendment.
Amendment.
Amendment. Carried.
Thank you. And then a vote on.
And now for the application, everybody in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
That's no problem.
Okay, we'll move on to the second, 5.2, ZBLA 2025/15, White and Heather Fryer.
You. Moved by Roxanne Louis and seconded by Dan Gagné. Whereas a public meeting was held on November 5th, 2025 for the purpose of amending zoning bylaw 2014-45. Whereas written concerns or objections have been received for the proposed amendment, be it resolved that the Planning Advisory Committee for the Municipality of West Nipissing recommends that Council for the West Nipissing Municipality adopts the proposed zoning bylaw to rezone a portion of the property at 192 Morley's Drive, and more particularly shown on the attached sketch, and that Schedule L1 of bylaw number 2014-45 shall be amended by changing the zoning designation of the property shown on Schedule A attached here too, which is more particularly described as part of Lot 9, Concession 5, Faulkner Township, Municipality of West Nipissing, from Rural Exception Zone 6 to Shoreline Residential. Through you, Mr. Chair, I'm just going to pull up the sketch here quickly. I'm sure this property will be somewhat familiar to most of you. This is on the north side of Mercer Lake. So I believe it was October last year. Council approved a draft plan of subdivision for the creation of 6 lots. As a condition of that draft approval, they are required to rezone the properties from that rural 6 to the shoreline residential. So this application is to address those concern or that condition. I will note that you do have a letter from the Mercer Lake Road Association, which is the 12 lots that you see here on the south side of the river or the lake. And they've voiced some concerns about the creation of the lot and the age of the lake capacity study that was conducted. I will note that the condition or the concerns that are in that letter are all connected to the creation of the lots, not to the zoning of the lots, which is what the subject application is. And then again, these lots already are draft approved, and at the time of the draft approval, there were no comments or concerns from any of the neighbors.
Okay. Any questions from our panel? I guess we're just doing some paperwork here to finalize them as rule.
So through Mr. Chair,
Shoreline residential.
yes, they're going
Okay.
from that rural exception zone
Cool.
6 to the shoreline residential, yes, and just the standard shoreline residential provisions.
Okay. Any questions from our panel? Dan, go ahead.
Just basically to confirm what I believe happened here. This was an original plan that was actually brought forward in 2011. And at that time, it was decided to only do 12 of the lots on the south side and not do the 6 on the north side. Having said that, I believe there was a study done at that time, basically that addressed the majority of the questions that we see from the concerns from the Mercer Lake Association Road, Mercer Lake Road Association, which I believe the threshold and the capacities had been identified 12 years ago, and none of that has actually come close to that threshold, from what I understand. Is that what am I,
Correct.
that's what I'm reading into this?
Yes, so through Mr. Chair, when the initial subdivision application was prepared, which he is correct that it was initially designed for 18 lots, which is the ones on the south side that have been created and the ones that are subject to the draft approval right now. When they initially did that application, they conducted a lake capacity analysis. And that study said that there was capacity for, I believe it was 33 permanent residents and 67, at least 67 seasonal. So there was significant capacity left.
Okay.
In the meantime, since that report has been done, there have been 20 lots created, including those 12 that are part of the subdivision. So there is, based on that report, still quite a significant capacity there.
There's still capacity. Is that good, Dan?
Yep, happy.
All right. Do we have any more questions? Nope. I'll bring it to a vote. Everybody in favor? Carried.
Yes.
Okay, we have an adjournment.
It is moved by Dan Gagne and seconded by Kathleen Rochon. Be it resolved that the West Nipissing Planning Advisory Committee meeting of November 5th, 2025 be adjourned to December 9th, 2025.
December 9th it is.
That's another year already. I know.
Is everybody okay for December 9th?
We don't
Yep.
have any supper.
No,
Seniors, no?
the next
Okay.
night is seniors.
I don't want to miss my supper.
All right, everybody in favor? Carried.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Madam Fryer.
Thank you, Dwight.
Thanks, Dwight and Heather.
Nice seeing you.
Thank you.
We'll see you for Christmas.